Traveling on a budget can be challenging, but finding cheap flights is one area where you can make significant savings. Over the past several years, I've saved more than $10,000 on flights through different strategies. Today, I'm sharing my best tips, many of which go beyond just using specific websites or search engines. By the end of this, whether you've booked only a few flights or are a seasoned traveler, you'll likely learn at least one new trick that can help you book cheaper flights. Leverage positioning flights to save money. A positioning flight involves booking an extra flight or leg on your journey to save money. This strategy might seem counterintuitive at first, but it can help lower overall flight costs in several ways. Let's say you're trying to book a flight directly to your destination, but the prices are too high. Instead of giving up, you can search for cheaper flights that get you close to your destination, and then book a budget flight for the final leg. For example, if you're flying from Detroit to Malta, the price for a direct flight might be over $1,000. However, if you fly to Vienna first, a ticket could cost just $677, and a budget flight from Vienna to Malta could be as low as $30 each way. Not only do you save money, but you also get the chance to explore a new city like Vienna. This tactic can work at either end of your trip. If you don't live near a major hub, you can take a budget flight from your home airport to a bigger one, where flights to your main destination are much cheaper. Additionally, if you're using points or miles to book flights, some airlines price award flights based on distance. Taking a positioning flight could reduce the distance of your main flight, potentially saving you points or miles. The myth of incognito mode. Many travelers swear by using incognito mode to search for flights, believing that airlines will raise prices if they detect you're searching for the same route repeatedly. However, recent data debunks this myth. Going, a company that searches thousands of flight deals every day, has confirmed that they don't use incognito mode. With access to vast amounts of data, they've determined that the use of cookies doesn't affect flight pricing in the way many believe. So while using incognito mode might feel reassuring, it's likely unnecessary and won't impact the cost of your flights. Take advantage of airline rules and laws. When it comes to booking flights, knowing the rules can save you both money and stress. One of the most important rules is the 24-hour rule, which states that if you book a flight to or from the US directly through an airline's website, you can cancel the booking within 24 hours and receive a full refund. This rule applies as long as the flight is more than 7 days away. This gives you flexibility. If you see a great deal, book it immediately to lock in the price. You then have 24 hours to decide if it works for your schedule without the risk of losing the deal. Another set of rules worth knowing is related to flight cancellations and reschedules. If your flight is canceled or the schedule is significantly modified, airlines are obligated to either refund you or rebook you on a new flight. If you initially booked a less than ideal flight, such as a red-eye, you can often use this opportunity to choose a more convenient flight, potentially saving money or improving your travel experience. Even if you booked a non-refundable ticket, you might still get a refund if the airline cancels or changes the flight itinerary. Sometimes, it's worth waiting to see if this happens rather than canceling the ticket yourself. It's important to note that these regulations can vary depending on where you're flying. For instance, flights to or from Europe often come with additional perks under European Union rules, such as compensation for long delays. Many people wonder when is the best time to book a flight. While there isn't a magic date that guarantees cheap flights, there is a Goldilocks window that increases your chances of finding good deals. According to travel experts, this window is generally 1 to 3 months before a domestic flight or 2 to 8 months before an international flight. For peak travel seasons like summer or the winter holidays, it's a good idea to extend this window by a few more months. The key takeaway is that prices tend to rise significantly after these windows, especially as you get closer to the 21-day, 14-day, and 7-day marks before departure. While this isn't a foolproof way to guarantee the lowest fare, timing your bookings within this range gives you a better chance of scoring a deal. While it might not reduce the cost of your flight ticket, using a credit card that offers travel insurance can save you hundreds of dollars if things go wrong during your trip. Many travel credit cards offer protection for trip cancellations, delays, and lost luggage, which can provide a financial safety net in case of unforeseen circumstances. For instance, I once missed a connection due to a delayed flight, which meant I had to stay overnight in a city where the airline wouldn't cover accommodation costs. Luckily, I had friends in the area. If not, I would have faced a hefty hotel bill. A travel credit card with insurance could have covered the cost of the accommodation. I've included links to my favorite travel credit cards, including one that offers excellent travel insurance benefits. If you're not looking to pay an annual fee, there are also free options that provide basic travel insurance coverage. Here's a more advanced tip that may not apply to everyone, but can be incredibly useful if you're a frequent traveler between the US and Europe. Flights originating outside the US tend to be cheaper than those starting in the US, even for the same routes. For example, a round-trip ticket from Detroit to London might cost $884, but a round-trip ticket from London to Detroit on the same dates could be just $678. This price difference of over $200 can add up, especially if you're flying multiple times a year. If you travel frequently, you could take one-way flight to Europe to start the process, then continue booking round-trip flights from Europe to the US and back. While this strategy requires some planning and flexibility, it can save you a significant amount over time. These 6 tips barely scratch the surface of the many ways to save money on flights. Additional strategies include using flight comparison websites, setting fare alerts, and considering budget airlines. I've also compiled a cheat sheet with more of my favorite travel hacks, which you can download for free from the link in the description. For those concerned about health and safety while traveling, travel insurance is a crucial consideration, particularly if you're visiting areas where medical care might be expensive or difficult to access. I've created a separate video that covers the ins and outs of travel insurance, which you might find helpful. By using these strategies and staying flexible with your travel plans, you can often find flights that fit your budget without sacrificing too much in terms of convenience or comfort. Travel doesn't have to break the bank, and with the right approach, you can explore the world without spending a fortune. Safe travels!